Hi everybody. A different angle today. We're not in the workshop. I'm in my other little den where I edit my videos from, and we're going to do a different little experiment. And the experiment today is trying out some microphones. A little test with them. I've made this little adapter, because I've got a mixer desk there, which uses it's a professional mixer desk for doing audio work and karaoke or whatever. So, and professional audio uses a different kind of plug. Just to make life complicated, just when we get used to the 4-pin plug on CB, you go on to other audio equipment and you have a different kind of plug called an XLR. So I've made an adapter here, an XLR plug. So I'm going to plug that in, and the other end is for a CB radio. So we'll plug that in. We'll plug that into the mixer desk, and what I'm going to do now, I'm going to try out some CB microphones and see what they sound like in real life. Not what they sound like via a radio, but what they actually sound like sort of messed up by a radio. So the first one we're going to try is a little standard mic that comes with the 6900 type radios. So we'll plug that in. Press the transmit key, and this is the standard mic that comes with the 6900 style radios, and you can compare it as to how it compared with the very professional studio microphone which I was using a few moments ago. Of course, they're not in the same class by any means. I've also put a little bit of echo on so that it will sound a bit more like a CB radio with the echo turned on. So this is the perfectly standard microphone that comes with the 6900 style radios. So, okay, we'll move on to another microphone now. And this is an expensive Shure microphone. Shure claim that their microphones have got a fancy tailored response, more suitable for using on transceivers. They were very popular amongst the hams in the 60s, whereas the CB people went for the Turner microphones. The radio hams seemed to go for the Shure microphones. Both very similar, both similar claims. Both say that they had a tailored response so that it would sound much clearer and better over distance. And they're also, like the Turner, very expensive. So this is a Shure communication microphone. Okay, and now we'll move on to the last one, which I'm testing in this little video. And this should need no introduction to anybody. This is the Astatic microphone. I see it gave a nasty click when it keyed up onto transmit. But this is the Astatic D104, sometimes known as the Silver Eagle and other titles. And this is a very different radio microphone because it was made in the 1930s. It uses a crystal insert. These days, microphones all tend to use moving coil inserts or the capacitor inserts. The crystal ones were really designed for use back in the day when everything was valve, and so they were very high impedance, and they match into valve transmitter receivers. They don't really match into solid state equipment. not really. That's never what it was intended for, and so whether it affects them, I don't know. I should imagine they do. I should imagine that they never sound like they was intended to sound with this modern solid state equipment. But that's a little demonstration of 3 different microphones. And now we go back to the studio microphone, which doesn't have any echo on it, but it's very, very expensive. It's what they call a shotgun microphone, if you can see it. It's one that they use in the studios, and it's usually just above the head of the actors. It has a good sensitivity for recording from a distance, and it's intended just to be kept out of camera. Okay, well that's the end of this little video test.